मूढजहि धनागम तृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपातम् वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम्.
So this verse gets better because it starts from Moodha only. So the earlier part, at least he was saying Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Moodamate. And that this Sanskrit grammar or whatever it is that you're learning is not going to save you when the death is nearing you. Okay, so right now let us not start feeling that, okay, so let's stop learning, let's not do anything, anyway death is nearing. It is not technically stopping anything. It is understanding that death is getting closer at whatever age we are. So the one who is 25, 30 will feel, no problem. I have lots and lots of time. I have like 5, 6 decades before I go. But you will never know. I'm not saying we'll go early. We will never know how these 5, 6 decades will pass. All of us who are in the 50s, 60s, we still remember ourselves getting a job, going to college. And now so many years have passed. So many years. We are not able to get it. That time has passed. So much time has passed. When we see the small children, okay, and now they have grown up so tall and so big, we still don't realize that we also grew old. Somewhere we are missing it. That time is passing and we are getting closer and closer to death. Okay, so let's not take life very casually. Let's understand the serious undertone, or rather the direct serious tone of Adi Shankaracharya. When the next verse starts, he says Moodha as the first word. So he starts with fool again. Okay, oh fool, oh ignorant fool. What does he say? Jaihi. Okay. He is saying, oh fool, give up. Jaihi is give up. What? What should he give up? The trishna for wealth. Okay. The thirst for gathering wealth. Very difficult for most of us to understand, especially when we are very young. Because when we are very young, we feel, we need to earn a lot of money. So at no point has Adi Shankara said to give up the wealth. He said, give up the thirst for wealth. So let's not misunderstand the text at any point of time. Okay, suppose you read it by yourself, probably you will feel that, oh, he's saying give up all this wealth and the desire for wealth and this and that. So probably we are not supposed to go to our jobs and earn money. We just go and maybe sit on the hilltop somewhere and meditate. That's not what he's saying. So be very clear, and the collateral we draw is Krishna's Gita, where he makes sure that we don't run away from our karma. We have to do our action. There is no option for that. But at the same time, there shouldn't be the thirst, that burning desire for wealth. That's all. We all need to earn money for the basic comforts. We need money for food, shelter, some basic comforts. But post which we still want to earn more and more and more. And then we are 50, then 55, then we are 60, and then we retire. Okay? So before that stage comes, wake up. and start doing what? Bhaja Govinda. So then stop going to work. No, you can continue going to work, but don't stop Bhaja Govinda. So singing the glory of the divine or worshipping in any manner you choose to, make it the most important aspect of your life. The worship should be the most important aspect of our life. The next aspect could be going to work. So we are not going to calculate it in number of hours. It's the intensity. Okay? So meditation, kirtan, prarthana, scriptural reading, books you like to read, read books, do anything. But pack this in your busy schedule. It's difficult, whether you are going to work, whether you are a homemaker or whatever you are. You're constantly busy with so many things. Here Adi Shankara is saying, wake up. The thirst is never ending. Stop the thirst. The thirst has to stop. You can continue doing your karmas. There is no problem in that. So don't misunderstand at all. So when he says give up very strongly, we feel, oh, we are supposed to give up our wealth, give up everything and go to the Himalayas. No, no need to give up the possessions. It is, he is asking you to give up the possessiveness of the possession. Did you get it? Don't give up the possession. Give up the possessiveness of the possession. Give up the attachment to the possession. Most people will say, I'm done. I am going to now, this age, I will give up everything I have. That's not what is meant. Keep everything. It really doesn't matter what you have. It is the desire to hold on to it. Mine. That mineness. That we need to give up. Trishna. The thirst we need to give up. To accumulate. That's what he is saying in every word. He is saying, Jaihi, give up what? Dhanagama. Dhanagama is dhana, wealth. To acquire wealth. What? Trishna. Give up the Trishna to acquire wealth. See, if you go to work, anyway you'll get the money. You'll get the little bit of money you need. It's fine. It's perfect. The desire for more and more and the dil mange more should stop. Because it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. We feel like, oh, we could do a little more and we'll get little more. And we do a little more and we get a little more and little more and little more. And that's why they opened the more supermarket also. Because it is always, we are always dil mange more. He is saying, this you cut. Dil mange more nahi chahiye. We don't need it. What we need? We go to work, we take the salary, we use the money, we enjoy our life. At no point is he saying, my God, this scripture is so damn serious. I wish I hadn't joined this. No, it's not that. It is not, it is the seriousness. The tone is serious. But it does not say that you need to become serious. You don't have to become serious in life. You need to be serious about your commitments. You need to be serious about your prayers. You need to be serious about certain things. Serious in the sense committed. That's all. And then you sail through life with joy, with wonder, with happiness, with peace. But until the time I'm looking outside, I want this, then I will be happy. I want this, then I will be happy. Then God gives you that. And you say, okay, with God's grace, I got this and this and this, but I didn't get that. So then we start feeling so sad about life. Arey, God gave me all this, but that He didn't give me. Where did you see that? Oh, that one has it. Okay, now go and speak to that one. And that one will say, with God's grace, I got this, but I didn't get that. So every person on this planet will have this with God's grace, but they will not have that something. You all choose, okay? Something each of us don't have, honestly. So then we'll say, okay, I got this, but I didn't get that. So don't crib and cry about that, because that one who got that is also crying. For what? For something else. So what do we see when we see this? Be happy. Be joyful that everybody doesn't get everything. We get this, bus. Okay, finish. That I didn't get. What about that one? Actually, they also didn't get something. Check everybody you know. They will come and tell you that one thing at least they don't have. And they're very sad about that. Okay. So that is the problem. So with this, be very happy. Live this small span of life happily. How to live happily now? That's why Adi Shankara is saying, we don't know how to live happily. We get happy when we get something. So my happiness is based on an external object. Okay? This external object is going to give me happiness. This external object, but is perishable. Isn't it? It could be a person also. The person is giving me happiness. My spouse is giving me happiness. My child is giving me happiness. My parent is giving me happiness. Is not that person perishable? They will die, irrespective. Before you, after you, doesn't matter, they are going to die. We are also going to die, so they are also going to die. So my happiness is based on everything that is perishable. Oh my God, everybody became serious. So what to do? Every object that gives me happiness is perishable only. My job is perishable. My wealth is perishable. My house is perishable. In fact, the house could remain. I am more perishable, to be very honest. House remains for 100 years and we die in maybe 50, 60, 70. So the point is, we are attached to perishable things for happiness. So what it will give you? It will give you happiness. After some time, it will give you sadness. Then some other object will come, give you happiness. Then that will be taken away. Then that will bring sadness. Now all of us, at whatever age we are, have seen this cycle. But still we are not waking up. Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Moodha, for this reason. He is saying, after seeing so much, that every perishable item gave me joy plus sorrow, and most of the time more sorrow than joy, I am still attached to perishable objects only. Why am I not attached to the unperishable? The one Parabrahma, Paramatma. No. If suppose I am attached to my Govinda, my Krishna, my divine, who will be always there, then we are free. Why? Because my happiness then is based on my Krishna who is within me, and it has nothing to do with the perishable objects outside. This is the entire game plan of Adi Shankaracharya. When he says, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Moodhamate, the life, the death is approaching, Samprapte Saniyate Kale, Nai Nai Rakshati Dukrana Karane. No rules of grammar are going to save you, my boy. This is what he is trying to say. So very clearly, we are attached to perishable people and objects. which is bringing us sorrow. He is saying, don't be attached to all the perishable things. If you want to be attached to Govinda. Be attached to divinity, to Guru, to Krishna, to whoever you want to pray to. It doesn't matter who it is. So get attached to that one divine. And that one divine who is always blissful will only give you joy. So my salary, my job, my wife, my husband, my child, my house is not giving me happiness. Clear it up. Happiness is within me. Where? With my Lord within. And because I am happy, I can spread happiness outside. The minute I start feeling, if this person is there, I can be happy all my life. If this house is there, I can be happy all my life. If this much wealth is there, I can be happy all my life. Then we are mudha. Very clearly. If my divine within me is with me all the time, I can be happy all my life. Why? Situations will keep changing. Wealth will keep changing. Status will keep changing. Everything, the body, the form, everything will change. One by one, as we get into the verses, this is the only thing that will be pushed upon again and again. That do not get attached to perishable anything. Objects, people, everything is perishable. And still we are attached to that. And why mudha? Because we think that perishable object will give me happiness. How bigger a fool could we be? We are imagining a happiness coming out of so many. See, it is not saying that you don't need to earn wealth. You can earn, you can have money in the bank, you can do whatever you want. But don't be foolish enough to think that is giving me happiness. No. Because that can be taken away. And your happiness will be gone. Your power will be gone. No, base your strength, base your power, base your happiness on something that is permanent. And the only permanence we know of is divinity.